we got today?
Last time we did Big UK with Dave. This time we're going Big US.
Right, okay.
It's Jack Harlow.
I've mixed feelings on it. I don't know how I feel about the hat. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm being super critical. I'm being super critical here. I'm happy. You've pleased me. See, that's why we're having this conversation.
I was debating whether to actually bring that up, so I'm very glad that I did.
Yeah, it's good that you did. All right. Back here, back at it again. What we saying? Let's just get into it, man. Whoa, let's get to that vibe of the week, and then we can have a bit of chit chat. You know?
All right, let's do it.
So what have you got for me, man? What have you got? Okay, we're going UK rap again. Who's that?
We're staying there.
Who's that? Tell me.
Wretch 3-2 Home.
Okay.
2025 album. For me, one of my favorites of last year, I must say.
I was going to say this is one of yours, definitely. I know you've spoken about this before on the pod, I think, a couple of times, potentially.
Yeah, no, I called it out a couple of times.
Wretch is the guy, to be fair. So to be fair, I think I only listened to this album when it came out, and I was like, yeah, respect it. And then I haven't really revisited it. So
okay, interesting.
So talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Yeah, I've had this on repeat quite a lot, to be fair.
Yeah.
And yeah, made sense. Had to get the vinyl because this really is art, you know. And I say that without like an aloof hat on or anything. But yeah, for me, yeah, one of my favorites of last year. Got great cast list of collaborators and features on it. But really, they all just play into like this cohesive sonic world that he's built for the album. I love the messaging of it. Obviously, you know, it's home ? And he sort of speaks to like identity and a lot of stuff that we've previously discussed on a pod. But I guess today what we're talking about is like, this is a product. And for me, I really love it. This is, I'll show you in a sec, but we've got a gatefold vinyl here. On the back, we've got a track list and the features and stuff and some more imagery. On the front, of course, he did this custom like shack essentially.
Yeah.
Which I guess depicts the narrative of the album. And then on the inside, if we go there quickly, again, some nice added value.
Okay.
Imagery
big
there.
Spread.
Big
Okay.
spread and a big gatefold. And then I'll hand you quickly, gosh, I'm mashing up the mic, one of the discs. There you go. Take a look at that one. And I'll have a look at this one. Apologies to the man who aren't watching, but are just listening. Bear with. But yeah, one of the things I love about this as a product is just the sort of like the value added, I think. So we've got printed inserts, sleeves rather, which is great, which further depict, I guess, the imagery of the album. The LP itself is just just a standard black LP, but it's quite heavyweight overall. You got lyric sheet, credit sheet as well, which is really nice. Again, with imagery that's on theme. And one thing that I particularly wanted to call out about this was, and I think you may have this one, but there's a thank you note in there as well, which I think is like a bit of a lost art now.
Okay.
Let me just...
little personal note to the fans and that.
Yeah, exactly.
I am liking like the pastel notes
it's nice,
in the album as well. It's very nice still.
Here we go. So on this side of it, you can see at the bottom, there's like a multi-paragraph sort of like, it's not even necessarily thank you, but acknowledgements. And I think for me, when I read this, it was a nice little extra that really gave additional context to the album. And, you know, Wretch is such a poet that like a lot of it is like an extension of the music as well for me. And so let me just give you a bit of a summary. So he says, it's funny because when it comes to this part, it's only words I've actually written down throughout the whole album process. And I'm always in fear of leaving a name out. So hopefully it's yours, LOL. He does a bunch of thank yous and then goes through. But I think what I really like is like the way that it story tells his like collaboration with the producers and the features and explains a bit about the behind the scenes. So it's a little insight, I guess, into the music making process, his personal relationships with people. I think so easily and often it can be like, yeah, the A&R put me in a room with so-and-so and then you just sort of like figured it out. But these are people he's had like genuine relationships with for years.
Yeah, and I think this album is interesting because it does have quite a few features, I would say, but it's one of the ones that has a few features, but it's still managed to stay in one world and it all kind of fits like very well together, which is very rare to have. I think when the kind of, I remember when the Brit nominations came out and stuff, we mentioned this one to be kind of one of almost the snubs kind of thing that should have got mentioned as well, because I think it's one of the better UK rap albums
100%.
of that year for sure.
100%, completely agree. Even the way that he talks, like, I'll just read this line as a little example. So he says, "My A&R, Juice Evans Frempar, sometimes you see something in someone and you roll the dice on them. We've hit 66 every time." And it's like, bringing his poetry into some of the way in which he communicates is like, like, it's deeper than rap in it. And like, it's relationships, and his storytelling of the process, I think, kind of adds value to it. And I think this is why sometimes physical product's nice, because it brings to life something that I've experienced it in a listener form, and then you see the perspective of the artist to a point, and it adds an extra color to it. You see some more of the imagery, adds more color to it, and then you just appreciate it more, I think.
Yeah, it helps build out that character, and like it makes you almost feel like you know him more as a person as well, right?
100%. So yeah, wanted to give that one a nod this week.
Okay.
And I do really love the artwork. I think it's great in terms of being so on theme with the imagery. I mean, with the narrative, and he like carried around elements of it, like the like washing line sort of thing. He brought into some of the activations during release week.
Okay.
So is it like he toured it sort of around, and so you feel like he's bringing it to you, and it's not like, you know, obviously Rich is quite known for like the fashion side of things as well, so it's easy to be like, oh, now he's all sort of like dripped out in this fancy fit, all talking about sort of like identity struggles, but he brought really that into the promotion of it as well, which I thought was a really nice marriage of music and the message. So big him up, man. Really love this one, and it's nice to see this as an artwork a bit more up close and personal.
There it is. Our vinyl of the week, Wretch coming in. Strong. I like it. I mean, I guess in terms of music, we went to see a show together, didn't we?
Yeah.
Who did we see, mate? Who did we?
Why are you throwing it back on me? This guy, bro.
Nah. We went to see Dave on the Boy Who Played the Harp tour, and that obviously that was our spotlight artist last week, and that. What's your thoughts, mate? What's your thoughts? I'd like to. Obviously, we went together, but we didn't really talk much about it because we thought we'd save it for now, right?
I thought we'd save it for here.
So what you said? How did you feel about it?
How do I feel? I've seen Dave before a couple of times. I kind of knew what I was getting, in the sense of like, I know how he performs, and you kind of have seen it before to a point in terms of some of the songs within the set list. However, obviously album 3 felt a bit different, felt like an elevation, but there was certain stuff that was, I guess, a bit stripped back so the message could speak. And I think he incorporated the balance of that super well, I thought, in terms of playing the crowd pleasers, but also getting the message of the Boy Who Played the Harp across on stage, and not feeling like you do a disservice to the general punter and the super fan at the same time, which I think is an impressive balance to strike with like an hour and a half, stage time. Saying that I expected, saying that feels that I kind of knew what to expect. There were elements that surpassed expectations as well and surprised me, I think. Like I love the fact that he played piano, and there was a sick part where like there were lasers coming out of the grand piano that reflected the notes or chords he was playing, which I think is a nice demonstration of skill and a unique part of the set design, which was hard. Obviously, he played his guitar, which was sick. Did some freestyling. There was a bit where they Tim Does It. He brought him out and did Cat Slater. And then he transitioned into the lyrics to Titanium, I think it was. And so there was a few little bits that were like surprising and of the moment, and I was like, yeah, this is cold, like very well thought through. A few transitions where you got the band were exceptional, I must say. I was loving that, and just watching it all come together, and watching him and his like adoration and like the way he's humbled by seeing it at the end. Like I'm like, fair play. And I really enjoyed the way he wove in not just his journey of 10 years, but also the rest of the cultural story in terms of like, I guess, Black British music over the last decade. Yeah,
I think that was kind of the general theme. It felt like for the concert, it was like him telling the story of his start like 10 years ago or 11 years ago, but also music's like the UK rap scene journey as well, which was really cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I thought it was I really enjoyed it, to be fair. Not to be fair, but like, yeah, I enjoyed it. Obviously, we were sitting like a little bit apart, wasn't we? So I was like, just taking it all in. Like, I really did like the set design, because the way it was laid out, they had obviously like the hanging like lights. I don't even know what you call them. Like they were like see through panels, screens, and then it basically was on like a conveyor belt, so it can come out towards the crowd at the right moment. So it made the set look really busy when it needed to be, when they're doing all the hype tunes, and you can see all the different panels and stuff. And then the songs, any of like the big singles that they had, where it was like featuring an artist, like if it had like Central C or it had Stormzy or like James Blake, they would have that artist on the screen, so it feels like they're a part of it as well. But then when it was like the solo tunes, when it needs to be like more personal and stuff, they kind of stripped that back and just kind of left Dave to it, and maybe just put a spotlight on him, which is quite cool. So I was really like impressed with the set design, because it kind of made sure it could do both tones. And then in terms of like the story, it kind of took us through it like chronologically, but then wove in the album at the same time, which was cool. Had a couple like artists come out and stuff, which was cool as well. Because who did he have? Like Mo Stack, Kano, and someone else.
I've actually forgotten.
But I can't remember. But obviously the Kano one was really cool, because they did Chapter 16.
My favorite moment.
Yeah, because like they just sat on stools and kind of just did the song together, and like you could feel like their reactions to how they were rapping just felt real, innit? So it was like, it was just like a very cool moment.
And it brought to life, I don't know if you've seen the official video, but it brought to life the dinner table scene.
Yeah, exactly. So that was cool.
And it feels so genuine, isn't it? Like obviously there's a bit of a half generational gap between them in a sense. But knowing even their like on-screen relationship from Top Boy. And just, you know, Dave being so young when Kane was like on top type thing. And now seeing that and seeing how they're both kind of humbled by the way in which they have like carried the scene on their backs in different capacities. It was actually beautiful to see. And the way in which one thing I loved about the show was often when artists have a bit of a deeper catalogue, you can skip through the tunes. And it'll be like verse 1, chorus, transition, or like just random like crash out. And then you keep it moving. But even with the tunes with the features, where the features weren't present, like he really honoured the fact that certain man in the crowd might not be here for the whole album. They might just be wanting to hear Sprinter and Location. And so he let the tunes run and somehow managed to fit it all into the set.
I don't know why, but I just didn't realize he had so many like big like singles and tunes and stuff. I was like, when he was playing them, I was like, oh my god, I forgot about that tune. I forgot about that one. Oh my god, it's still going. So it's mad. But yeah, man, I was impressed.
Did you have any expectation? Because I know obviously UK rap's not necessarily your forte.
I mean, I kind of knew it was gonna be like that just because of the album, right? I knew it was going to be like when he was doing his songs, it would be kind of like more personal and like reflective and stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't really understand the enormity of it all. I mean, I know it's an O2 performance and stuff, but like I haven't seen Dave perform before at all, let alone the O2. So I didn't realize how many fans he really has, and how many like people know tunes like what like the big singles like word for word and that.
Trust me, if people know bar for bar.
I mean, like obviously people are more here for like I would say for the older tunes and stuff, and like the hype tunes than the album. But yeah, it's mad. I didn't realize Dave's the guy like that. So, I mean, I know he is, but I didn't like when you see it in person, you're like, okay.
Actually, you can do a whole set of hits if you want.
And he actually has really good stage presence as well, which I didn't factor in as well.
People are hanging off his every word now. He rapped a lot of lyrics that night.
100%. A lot, bro. A lot. So, but it was good, man. It was good. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad. Question.
Okay.
You're sporting a new hat.
Oh, you like my yeah.
I've not seen this one before.
Yeah.
Tell me, what's family recipes, bro?
I can't really give you that many stories on this one. I won't even lie to you. I got it online from, I think it's a site called Service Works. So they do like chef attire and stuff like that, or like blacksmith stuff and stuff like that. So I think this is a part of the chef stuff, obviously,
here for
family recipes and that. That's what I got it. I like the font and that. Yeah, they do have good like merch in there and stuff. Okay. And like the quality's quite like enduring, I guess. Yeah. It's quite good material and stuff. So I was like, yeah. So I got some trousers from there as well, which are like good as well, to be fair. Okay. So yeah, give it a check out. Okay. And I thought, I can't be wearing the same hat. Like these men keep finding me, seeing me online. After a while, like they might be like, oh, this guy doesn't have any more clothes.
One hat,
I was bad enough. I'm always wearing like dark colors and stuff, so it already looks like I'm wearing the same thing every time. So I've got to at least change the hat at least, So
you've got any family recipes for us? What's your go-to cuisine?
You got to be in the family for that. Do you get me?
Okay.
Do you get me? Family recipes for a reason. Do you get me? I can't be just imparting my knowledge in that. I'm up in the kitchen. You know what I'm about already, but you got.
I do. You tell me. I don't know if the listeners know that.
Yeah, they don't need to know. Don't worry about that. We're here for the music, for the tunes. Don't worry, bro.
Let's keep it moving. We don't want to hear about you and your sous vide.
Exactly. Speaking of tunes, let's get to recent rotations, bro.
Let's run it.
Let's do it.
Recent rotations. Let's get into some of the stuff we've been listening to. 3 each as usual, I hope.
Yeah, I've got 3, bro. I've got 3.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go first.
Okay. Go with energy. Okay, go.
Okay. First recent rotation of the day, it is Don Toliver. So he's got a new album out. It's called Octane. I want to rock your body.
Yeah, that's you. I'm not gonna lie,
was in the room.
That is my most played album at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
It's on rotation, heavy in there.
There's big tune. Was it Opposites and that tune in there is big. But what's your recent rotation? What's the tune that you're listening to? But that
always coming in here and taking over.
And one more thing before you continue as well. We have a follower who's like credited in that album as well. Yeah, Sosa, she's in that. She's got a writing credit in that album.
You're right.
So shout out to her, man.
Yeah, big up
to her.
Good, well remembered.
This is what I'm saying, bro.
I thought you were going to chat some nonsense.
No. I'm talking music. I'm only here for the music,
added some
bro.
value there.
Come on, bro. Anyways, go continue.
The tune I'm going to call out today is called Callback.
Okay.
This is energy and it's high energy. It's what Don Toliver is known for. Obviously, Cactus Jack and Travis, like it's all energy in it. And I actually saw him at the O2, his show last year.
Okay.
And they were recording a video to this tune actually. And so he wheeled it up. He probably played it 4 times actually. And so I grew quite familiar with it. And then when it came on the album, I was like,
still a tune.
This is energy, and it comes in terms of the album sequencing and stuff. We were speaking about this with the Dave project as well. It comes off the back of a few tunes that are a bit more downbeat, let's say, and then it kind of picks it back up and it gets into it straight away. Like there's little free count at the start, and then we're off. So that's mine.
I understand now why you wanted to go first. It's a very strong start.
Oh, it wasn't even for that reason. But I'm waiting on the video. I need to see that.
Nah.
Because it went off. The production at that show and the energy, I've not seen anything like it.
Really?
Nah. Insane.
Every album that he's produced has been pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. So.
And he does the production, a lot of it as well.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Which is mad. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, he's the guy.
Big him up, man.
He's the guy, man. He's the guy. Okay, you wanna? Can I go? Do you want to do 2? Yeah?
No. That's greedy. Good. That's greedy.
So my number 1 recent rotation of the day is Kenny Mason. Moonlight is the song.
Okay.
So we're still staying US, like quite trap adjacent. Moonlight is off of his latest mini EP that he released in February called Pup Pack Third Shift. This is the 3rd mini EP's release. Okay. So there's like a whole Pup Pack release. And it's called Pup Pack because he's releasing an album hopefully soonish. Okay. Like he said that album's on the way.
Yeah.
Called Bulldog. So obviously it's a dog themed release that he's got going on. So that's on the way. The reason I've chosen this song in particular, because it's a banger, obviously. But the sample that's used in it is Jodeci, My Heart Belongs to You, which is a big tune. It's a big, obviously I'm a big Jodeci fan, 90s R&B, that's where I'm at. So when I heard it, I was like, yeah, this is like, you hear the sample at the start of the song, and I was worried for a little bit because I was like, ooh, we played with Jodeci here. And I think that's the same sample in Jodeci Freestyle with like Drake and J. Cole, right? So I was like, it's been done, like, what are you gonna do here? But it's done very well. And you hear the sample throughout the song. My favorite part of the song is the second part of the song where you hear the sample and then just like an 808 kind of thumping, and then he's just going off. Like Kenny Mason is one of the slept on artists, I feel. Yeah, he's one of the guys that his like the sample work that he has and his production is always like on 10. It's always like really, really good. And he is very good at like riding on beats and stuff as well. So yeah, that's my first.
I haven't heard it. I have to check it.
Yeah, check it out, man.
Okay, my number 2. Gerald Wicks. Here We Go Again is the song name.
Okay.
This come across it randomly. I can't tell you a whole lot about him as an artist so far, other than I would recommend checking him out. Came up just on my like algorithmic sort of like listening session, and yeah, the production instantly caught my attention. It was just super unique and interesting. And then that kind of goes for like 8 bars or something, and then his vocal comes in and complements it like really nicely. It's like quite like the production's it's a bit hard to describe. It's a bit sampley, a bit sort of synthy and stuff. But yeah, he produced it too, which I found out subsequently and was like, okay, cold. Like we're doing big artist here, and the production really contrasts nicely with it, sort of his delicate vocal tone as well. And I was like, okay, we've got something going on here. And then went on his socials, had a little look, and he got some really very cold visuals to accompany it as well. And so I was like, okay, this is an artist to sort of get to know a bit more. Okay. Not that I've got any facts for you about him, but Gerald Wicks, Here We Go Again, would definitely recommend.
Gerald Wicks.
Have a little listen.
Okay. I'm gonna have to give him a go. Cool. My second, right? Number 2. So my number 2 is Sage Monstrosity. Crazy name. But he is a monster. So Sage Monstrosity is a Detroit producer / artist. The way I've discovered this guy is because obviously Jill Scott's new album has come out in February, I think. And he produces 3 songs on that album. Okay. And I saw like an interview with Jill Scott, and basically she was saying she's never met the guy.
Oh, swear.
And she was like basically she'll send beat packs from Swizz Beats and from David Banner.
Okay.
And basically she chose 1 song from Swizz Beats pack and 2 from David Banner's pack, and they were all 3 of them were Sage Monstrosity's production and that.
Oh man.
So yeah, so she heard it. She's like, "This is the guy." And then so
sick.
I haven't even told you what song is my recent rotation. So Sage Monstrosity is the artist, and Giving You All My Love is the song. Okay, and that's his song. But
does he like perform on it too?
No. So it's just like production.
Okay,
yeah, production or pure production. Like there's a sample in there and stuff as well. So one of the songs from going back to Jill Scott's album is Don't Play, which is her Colours performance as well. So yeah, his production is just very like soul inspired, like with like heavy hitting like drums and stuff, like very not just neo soul, but like soul, hip hop, and R&B. And like he's been credited and featured with artists like Schoolboy Q, Sir, D Smoke, I think Anderson .Paak, Tyrese and stuff. I think Tyrese is the person that discovered him in like mid 2000s, like 2005 or something.
Damn, I'm surprised I've not heard his name before.
Yeah, I know. This is what I'm saying. He was a part of like the Flip Mode Squad through like Busta Rhymes and stuff as well back in the day. So he's been about. This is not a new artist or anything. He's and like now I've discovered him. I've seen videos. It's like, you know, when you like all of a sudden you start hearing the name
everywhere.
Everywhere. You're like, what the hell? I've only just got this guy. Now everywhere he's popping up.
But that's a name I'd remember as well.
Yeah, exactly. But there's been a lot of like R&B artists and stuff. Like I think I was looking at the R&B artist and songwriter Tank has got like a podcast, and he was with other people and they were mentioning him and saying like he's the guy, he's one of the best producers around, kind of thing. So he is like
renowned.
He's renowned and in that circle and stuff. But it's just kind of coming around.
Yeah,
I guess you don't really know a lot of producers and like writers and stuff unless they start doing their own music. And like I looked at his Spotify, he doesn't have like a great deal of songs, but yeah, this song "Giving You All My Love" came out in September 25. So listen to that, and then listen to the Jill Scott album, and you'll kind of understand more of his sound and stuff as well. On his Instagram and stuff, he does like kind of like beat breakdowns that it shows him like making them beats and stuff like that.
Oh, cool! I love that.
Yeah, so he's super cool guy. So yeah, give it a go.
Sick, great shout.
Oh, there you go. What have you got? Number 3?
Yeah. Last one for today. And it is Mac Keen and a tune called Candy Crush.
Okay.
Are you aware of Mac Keen?
Yeah, of course I am, bro.
Okay,
of course I am. I think he's I'm not going to say it too much. I want to hear what you want to say. You say it. I'll add my comments after. Okay. But yes, I have heard of it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man, this tune, another one that sort of, must have just come up sort of on, actually, no. I think he has a tune. Let me not get ahead of myself. But my entry point to him was another route, and then I was like, "This is cold. Let me listen to the other music." And then this is one that stood out to me. So yeah, Candy Crush. For anyone who's not aware of Matt Keen, or at least this sound, I would say it's like Dijon adjacent.
Yeah,
and sonically, you know, in a similar vein to the Justin Bieber Swag album, which is probably a sound that's become a bit more popularized recently. That's sort of like guitar-led, inspired by, you know, that's of Dijon, McGee as well. Yeah,
it's all like, I mean, they're inspired by, I would say, like 80s like Prince guitar music and stuff like that. So everything's got that kind of nostalgia around it, right? So like with the synths that they use and like the style, there's like the sound of the guitar, it's not like just like normal acoustic and stuff. So yeah, I'm about it. So
100% same. And I feel like it's obviously like very sophisticated production, but there's also an element to it that makes it feel a bit more DIY and a bit more bedroom as well, which I think people like nowadays. Like I think we're in a bit of an era that's post that polished pop. Not that it's pop music, but that polished production sound that you might have heard in the sort of noughties and years gone by. But yeah, this tune, Candy Crush, is cold. Great electric guitar, as we've alluded to, and his vocal tone and his choice of melody, I personally find like, it's like ASMR vibes, not from like a whispering sense, but it soothes and scratches that part of your brain that likes melody and likes that. And so yeah, would definitely recommend. And his whole, discography. Yeah, I only come across him recently, but I'm a fan. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I think he's releasing an album soon, I think. And the reason I say that is because we posted a Matt Keen single.
Yeah, it was that one.
And I think that's one of the singles from the album that's coming. I think. So tune into Matt Keen because he's got, well, maybe by the time he posts this, maybe he might have an album already. So tune in, man. Tune in. Very good pick. Cool. Do you want me to round things off?
Bring it home. Better be strong.
You know where I'm going. You know. We're going back. We're doing it. We're going, are we doing 98s? No, we're doing 70s this time, mate. We're going 1979. All right? We're going Funkadelic is the band.
Okay.
And the tune is Not Just Knee Deep. Funkadelic, as you can tell, big funk, bro. Big funk. Funkadelic is like founded by George Clinton, who was also kind of did a couple of collectors and stuff, but the main two is Parliament and Funkadelic come together. P-Funk was what they were called, and kind of almost kind of the name of the sound as well that they had at the time, right? And they were like, they were pioneers in funk in the 70s. I think they came together late 60s off of the back of like psychedelic rock and stuff like that to kind of push further the funk from like Jimi Hendrix and Sly Stone and artists like that. And yeah, so he has Funkadelic in Parliament because Funkadelic's the more rocky side, I think. I think that's where it kind of comes from. So that's the difference between the two.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just like a bit like the bass line, the drums, the vocals. It's got like vocals from like artists from like the Spinners and stuff like that. Like, yeah, very I know, you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Very throwback. We were talking about like song lengths stuff. Get a load of this. This song is 15 minutes, 21 seconds. So it's a big tune and it's a long one. And yeah, once you're in that tune, I'm not gonna lie, it's not like, it doesn't feel long. Yeah. It's just because the groove is just like getting you going. There's a couple like, the vocals aren't like there's not too much going vocally, like in terms of lyrics and stuff, but there's enough changes in the music and to like take you to places briefly, then it brings you back home. In terms of the song, you'll know the song because it's the sample of a De La Soul song, which is probably their most popular song, Me, Myself and I. Okay. So as soon as you hear the drums come in, you'll be like, oh, it's familiar, yeah. Yeah, so it's a big sample for classic hip hop, but that came out in like 1989, but we're talking about Funkadelic at the moment. Lyrics like Freak of the Week, obviously that's where it comes from this song. Yeah. Shout out to Crept and Conan. I was going to say. But I think that's where like Freak of the Week and stuff was like first mentioned in songs as well. It's like a double entendre of like freak dancing and obviously being a freak and stuff. So so if you have a spare 15 minutes, please give it a go. Produced by George Clinton as well, under the name Dr. Funkenstein was he had like various alter egos, and that was his producer alter ego. George Clinton as well, just a little side note, is on To Pimp a Butterfly, the first song. Oh, really? Okay. Wesley's Theory has George Clinton, his vocals, and I think his guitar as well, but don't quote me on that bit. But yeah, so he's about, and he's still popping into things. I believe he's on Childish Gambino's album as well, because that took heavy influences from Funkadelic. So yeah, Funkadelic, not just knee deep, bro. Please give it a go. All right, should we get the spotlight?
Dr. Funkenstein's thrown me.
Yeah, come on, bro. You gotta get funky, bro. This is like, when you say funk, this is funk. You listen to this, you're like, oh my God, this is funky.
This is grooving.
Yeah. So please do give it a go, man. Please.
Okay.
All right, man, let's get on to Spotlight. I want to see who we're talking about, man.
Let's do it.
You know that tune? That's the tune. Yeah.
Oh, what? It's only got 2.5 million streams.
Yeah, it's probably different versions or something. I don't know.
Playing this live must be so fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, they did Glastonbury a couple of years. Well, I think they've probably done it. They've probably done it many times. But like, you know, when they have what's their Legend 10 or whatever, they did that a couple of years ago, and it looked like it was popping off. Because their bands and stuff, it's like a bagger man, isn't it? That's what you don't. It's not like 5 man. It's it's like 15. Everybody's going like, they had like, you know, like Bootsy Collins and them, man, like all of these random mandem who are just like super talented, so they're just like off their heads, just going crazy. Everybody's smoking up and stuff on like LSD, wearing they're the man that wear like the star sunglasses and all of that, and they wear a top hat randomly. Hello boots, hello long, and wearing the most wild clothes ever known to man, because they're just off of it. They're just going crazy. Oh, man.
What experience.
What a time, man. I'm telling you, I'm living in the wrong era, man. That's gonna be me. All right, man. Artist Spotlight. It's going to be the segment where we've chosen one artist, going to look at their story, look at their new releases, see what they're up to, and have a little conversation around it and that. So who have we got today?
Last time, we did Big UK, we did Dave. This time, we're going Big US.
Right, okay.
It's Jack Harlow.
Oh, I do like a bit of Jack Harlow. Okay. So what are we saying? Why are we doing Jack Harlow? What's happening?
So Jack Harlow, he's got a new album out. It's called Monica, and yeah, it's a bit of a sonic pivot. It's just come out, and there's already sort of like lots of commentary around it, as people love to have an opinion. But I think it's a super interesting one, and so I thought we'd have a good dialogue around it. Get into the music, get into some of the analysis that we can provide, and discuss a bit of his journey, our experience and interaction with him as an artist, and go from there.
Yeah, this is an interesting one for the album and for us as well, because this is the first time I think we're doing an episode where something's just come out, right? So this is first looks, right? This is like put the caveat there now, all right? Relax, everyone, because by the time we release this, there might be a whole different narrative on this album and the artists and stuff. But this is our first look, and just looking at the artists, because we like Jack Harlow, we followed him a little bit, so we're just gonna see where he's come from and where he is now and that, innit?
Exactly,
right.
And without the sort of like, I don't know, tarnish is the wrong word, but without any sort of outside influence or general narrative that's been woven at this point.
Exactly.
So as ever, want to set the scene, give a bit of context to the people, and provide a foundation for the conversation. So Jack, he's over 10 years deep in his career. So similar to Dave that we were discussing last time out, he released 5 projects. They were sort of like EP mixtapes, one a year from 2016 through to 2020. So very good consistency. And he has subsequently released 4 albums, Monica being the one we're going to discuss, and the most recent one. Jumping back a bit to the 5th project that we mentioned from 2016 through to 2020 was called Sweet Action, and that had What's Poppin' on it, which was probably the track that's widely regarded as his like global arrival moment, should we say?
Yeah.
And I think that came out. The Sweet Action project came out in the March, I think, and then by December he had released the debut album, which is quite a mad work rate. That's called That's What They Will Say. 2022 he had Come Home the Kids Miss You, album 2. 2023 he had Jackman. And then we're now 3 years on, and he has released Monica. But between those albums rather, he's had a couple of singles, one of which was Lovin' On Me, which was obviously big flipping global record. It's done like over 1 billion streams and the rest of it, and very much cemented him, I would say, as like an A-list artist at a global level. He has subsequently had 4 records really. Hello Miss Johnson, Tranquility, Set You Free, and a record called Just Us, which features Doja Cat. And I guess, to get into Monica and the conversation today, I guess this album is both a creative and a sonic pivot for Jack. And in essence, I would say Monica is an R&B album that incorporates a bit of neo soul, incorporates jazz, live instrumentation, a lot of it, and namely includes no rapping, which is obviously up until now what he's been sort of famed for. And I think some people who might have known him for the commercial leaning hits like What's Poppin', Lovin' On Me, First Class, etc., might have found this like a surprising deviation. However, I would argue that this has been coming from him, and we've sort of seen allusions to it over since Jackman, essentially.
Really? I am one of the people that are surprised with it. I guess for me, I've been listening to him. I was not early, but
you were pretty early actually.
Yeah, I was early.
Give you that
ish. Yeah. I did mention it to you like a while ago, innit? So I was quite early. Probably 2018, I would say, was that. I think that's not an album. That's an EP or something where it had like Sundown and like tunes with like Sci-Hi the Prince. And I think that's how I found him, was through Sci-Hi the Prince was like a big cosign for him at the time. And I remember seeing him interviews saying like, this is the guy, he's going to come up. Like, don't worry about he's white, but he's like a student of the game and all of this type of stuff. And that was when he was still had like quite a nerdy look. Like he was in like glasses and like didn't have a beard or anything like that. So he just looked like some like nerdy little kid.
Yeah, legit.
And then you listen to him, you're like, oh, bro, this guy can rap.
spit.
This guy can flow. He's very smooth flowing, isn't it?
Proper.
So, but yeah, I was surprised for an album to not rap at all. Did feel crazy to me. That did feel crazy to me.
I hear that. I'm now going to tell you why I didn't find it surprising.
Okay. I hear that, but you're wrong.
No. Yeah, I wouldn't say it. Yeah, I think, to not rap at all, I guess, is surprising.
Yeah.
So I would say we're going to start by looking at the artworks, I guess, of the albums, right? And I feel like they've been increasingly moving from like polished celebrity, and I use that word because he's used it, through to now more like curated, deliberate artist. So debut album, if you recall, it's sort of him sat in the back of a luxury car with like the lady on the side, and he's sort of like, there's someone leaning in the window and he's signing the autograph and stuff. So it's very sort of like, I'm the guy in it. Yeah. I'm famous, man. I reached
that was when he got his glow up as well. So he was like, the glow up was there. So he's like, yeah, now I am the guy.
Yeah, and he's wearing glasses in that one, but they're looking more like Cartier than like nerdy glasses and all of that sort of thing. Yeah. Sophomore album, you see him sort of like sat on a stool and you've got the mic and the stand and the pop shield sort of there, and you're like, okay, this is feeling like a bit more refined.
Is that the album with like Churchill Downs and stuff? Okay, I'm with you.
And so you're like, okay, you got the man and you got the music, and you're like, cool, this is kind of, I'm expecting rapping in it.
And yeah, that album does give rapping, to be fair. There's a lot of rapping in that, and a lot of like lyricism in that as well, which I appreciated.
But even with that, like it's like shot in a studio and it's like plain white background. So you're like, okay, cool, this feels like a man and his pen type thing.
Yeah.
So you're sort of leaning more into the artist side already. Album 3, Jackman, and now we see him sort of like shirtless in this sort of like back alley in Louisville, Kentucky, where he's from. And then interestingly, the back cover of that, like for the man that have physical or whatever, is an interesting one because it's basically the same sort of like dated, sort of like somewhat grainy grade on the back of it. But there's a huge fallen tree that's like crushed this car.
Okay.
And who knows whether this is like coincidental or not. But I feel like this could, if we're getting deeper into it now, operate as like a metaphor for sort of like leaving some of the more glamorized side behind for something a bit more raw and authentic, represented him being like stripped back, physically being shirtless. And I feel like on that album, he's starting to like, he's just rapping and it's sort of like starting to be a bit less, there's no real, I guess, quote unquote, like commercial aspiration. It's just like, I do rap very well. Here you go. And I feel like that was one, if I'm not mistaken, that didn't really have singles and was like surprise drop as well.
Yeah.
Now moving forward into Monica, looking at this artwork again, this is like a blurry side profile shot of Jack. He's wearing the sort of brown Kangol hat that we've been seeing him rock a lot on the side recently.
This is it. So I don't know how I feel about the hat. I'm not gonna lie to you. And we'll get into like I'll explain my feelings after. Like, continue, and I'll bring it all full circle.
This hat has been a staple in the rollout that we've seen. But yeah, piecing that together, the overall color palette that we've seen from this rollout is brown and beige, from the outfits that we've seen him wear through to the artwork. And I feel like overall it's sort of giving more mature, grounded, earthy sort of tones. So I think it's deliberate. It's good choices.
Yeah, 100%.
And again, getting into our analytical side of it again, like most of the artworks have seen him looking at the camera or it's like front on. This one, again, I feel like it's deliberate. The side profile shot, and his eyes are a bit closed in it as well. So it's a bit more nonchalant and it's a bit less sort of like, look at me. And it's like, this is like a perspective.
It's looking onto me instead of like me saying like me looking at you. I hear you.
So yeah, that's a bit of sort of like the visual representation. And I think when you look at the albums next to each other, you sort of see that progression and you're like, okay, this is, I hear it. Looking at the track listing, we've got 28 minutes. So it's a succinct album, a cohesive project. Again, no lead singles. He sort of dropped it. And the flow of the album is very sort of seamless, and all of the tracks, without sounding like it's a disservice, they do blend into one nicely, and it's very well thought about. So speaking of the recording process, He recorded it at studios called Electric Lady in New York.
Yeah.
Which has also seen the likes of Beyonce, Stevie Wonder, Kendrick Lamar, Frank Ocean, and D'Angelo.
Yeah. Electric Lady
record.
was like, I'm pretty sure that was the big part of the Soulquarians, like new soul movement and stuff. They recorded a lot of their stuff there. So yeah, it makes sense that he's done the same thing.
Yeah. However, interestingly, so he moved to New York and started writing this album. However, there was a previous version of the album which he canned basically because he didn't feel like it was authentic enough to what he was actually doing with it. And so that actually did also start in Electric Lady as well. So it's interesting that like it might not have necessarily initially emerged with that sort of intention sonically behind it, but he's arrived there by virtue of the fact that he feels like this is the truest form of how he is wanting to express at this point. You know, I'm saying this stuff and it could seem presumptuous, but some of the quotes that have come from him, even just straight away, do feel like they're indicative of this. So he said, my entire career path has been me trying to get closer to capturing who I actually am. And he says he's focusing more on the artistry now. And he kind of said, I felt like I had to confront a choice of going down the artist route or the celebrity route. And he went with the former. He said, in terms of the essence of capturing like who he actually is, he said, it's nice to know that your art doesn't feel like too much of a departure from who you actually are as a person. And he wanted to be a little less self-indulgent and write from a place that removes ego, which is very interesting from someone who's come up as a rapper, because a lot of it is about the bravado and being braggadocious.
Yeah.
And all of that. But in terms of, I guess, some of the sonic inspiration, it's often he's like, what inspired it? And he's really just said it was inspired really by what he was listening to at the time.
Yeah. The whole album, this whole album release, everything, it sounds like he's had a couple of years of just like, he's discovered neo soul, like the 2000s neo soul, and he's like, bro, I need to make some of this, and that's what he's done. And this is why going back to me mentioning the hat. He's like Anthony Hamilton, like Most Def, like even a bit of Common and them, man. They were always rocking that hat back in the day, like thinking it's all cool and that. And he's bringing it back, and it's in Sideways as well. Like this is exactly the same thing. So as soon as I saw that,
you knew already.
As soon as I saw the album, and you mentioned to me like, yeah, it's a bit different, like sounding before I even listened to it. And I saw that, and I was like, oh, we're going new. So this is what's happening here. So yeah, it sounds like he was listening to it a couple of years, and he's like, yeah, this is the music I like, and I'm just gonna make it. Forget it. Like, yeah, I hear it.
I rate it. Yeah, he just said, more than anything, I think I made this out of what do I want to hear and what do I want to listen to, and also in the knowledge that, you know, when he takes the stage, he has to perform his own music, isn't it?
Yeah, I've mixed feelings on it, to be fair. So for him saying that, it's saying that he doesn't want. It sounds like he doesn't want to hear hip hop, which sounds kind of sad. It's like to have to do a full departure from it. I would have liked him to do. It's similar to like the Dave conversation we had last week when you were saying you wanted to hear some of him like rapping and going hard and stuff. I would have liked to see him blending the sounds and saying, this is my take on the sound and I'm evolving it.
Sure.
So it's a very good album and like interpretation of the genre, I would say. And like production is like super clean as well.
Very, very good,
like,
isn't it?
Very, very clean. But I would like a little bit of rapping, a little bit of rappity rap, you know, just because he's so good at it. He's so good at it.
Yeah,
It feels like sad for him just to have to just leave it.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to return to it at any point.
I think he will. I think it's just.
I hope so.
There's a little strategy there. I feel like you have to. I think this album's to show that he has like different sides and he can do pretty much anything as an artist. Like I can sing and if I want to do this, and I feel his next. I wouldn't be surprised if he released again this year. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, same.
And then it's got like a a single in there.
Yeah, just
And
because, by the way, you man that hating, remember.
Yeah, I've got this too. And it'll probably be like, more of a mix, have some features in it, and be like, more commercial, I would say. But I think this is one of those kind of like standalone, like, I wanted to do this, so I'm doing it. Similar to like Destin Conrad had like a jazz album last year. Like, obviously he's not a jazz artist, but he's just like, forget it, I'm doing a jazz. And he's like, and he does it like super, super well. And you're like, oh yeah, fair. Like,
I mean, this is the point of artistry, isn't it?
Yeah, like you can do this. This is something that you're passionate and interested in, as long as it's executed well, and it is. So So it's fair enough.
Okay, question then. If like you hadn't, if we had no knowledge of Jack Harlow, say this was his debut release, and this is your first time coming across him, how do you receive it any differently, or measure it differently?
Yeah, you definitely receive it and measure it differently, because you don't know the artist's like ceiling or what they're great at, right? I would have put Jack Harlow as like one of the better like young rappers and like of his generation. Like I think he's like almost one of the leaders in that regard. Obviously, I was like moving a bit away when he was going too commercial, like with like First Class and all that type of stuff. I don't really listen to them type of tunes, but like he will always in his album always have like a bag of tunes where he's just like going off, and you're like, yeah, this guy is very talented. So the fact that I know that and I don't see any of that in this album, that's why I measure that. But if it was just like I just heard it and I didn't know who they were, I would just be like, yeah, this is a good album. This is a good album. I would say it is a bit. Is it just literally just repeating a genre from like 20 years ago? Like there's nothing in the album where it's like, oh, that's taking it somewhere. That's like an interesting like interpretation of the genre.
Sure. I think this is why I asked, because obviously I know you're a big D'Angelo fan.
It's like, I wouldn't compare with D'Angelo, because D'Angelo's he's his own beast, isn't it? Like, so I'm not even I wouldn't even put it to him. But I was thinking of more like Music Soul Child, like Anthony Hamilton, especially with the like a lot of the tunes are like very acoustic led and stuff like that. That's the sound that I hear instantly. And it's a very good comparison of it, but I don't know if it's anything more. And the fact that I'm being super critical here, because this is the genre I really like. These guys that I've mentioned are like very good vocally, like very like. For example, like El Mean does that type of music a little bit, in terms of neo soul. Vocals are crazy. Can we compare Jack Harlow's vocals to El Mean? No, not really. Do you get me? So
but this is why I asked the question.
It's difficult
in terms of how you receive it, because it's like, would you? Yeah, we like just do you say like, oh, musically it's really good, and melody and vocals is good, but it's not like he's not an incredible singer. Yeah,
he's not going on like runs and riffs and stuff like that. Do you get me? But like it's very well written. Yeah, and the production's crazy. So
and he executes what he's doing very well.
Yeah. It's like in the way like you can't say like Drake is an R&B artist. Do you get me? Like when a lot of this like him singing and stuff, like he's only got so much of a range. Do you get me? Like all the songs, and I love Drake when he sings, isn't it? Like I probably prefer when he sings and stuff. But he's not going like crazy and stuff like vocally.
Yeah, when he knows his.
But it's the same. It's the same with Jack Harlow, isn't it? But he's done a whole album on it, and it's like, yeah, I like it. I like obviously I'm sounding like I'm hating, but I do like it. But I just know that he can do other things. Yeah, that's the thing. So that's why I'm expecting like just like, even if it's like a little EP, just like bang, here you go, have some of that. And I'm sure he will, because I didn't realize he was out for 3 years. It's
a long time, isn't it?
It's quite a while,
and I think that's possibly why there's scope to divide opinion. Because man, I say I was waiting on it, and I was expecting you to be coming with like some slappers and stuff, and you're out here singing. Yeah,
because as you said, he was at that celebrity like status. He was like doing movies and stuff.
And I think nowadays, like if we're talking about the industry as a whole, there's such pressure on people that are at the top or have made it previously, because a lot of the time, you know, obviously there can be success without social media, but social media is such a key in terms of like the attention economy that you have to have some sort of gravity on there to be able to like continue to propel momentum.
Yeah.
And I think that is such pressure, especially for people that have been working super hard for someone like Jack or Justin or Dave that's been like 10 years plus in the game.
Yeah.
Like to then compete on a level of like the newer Gen Z artists that are TikTok and online native, it's just asking them to be who they're not. And so I think this new sort of style of releasing that we're seeing is a great way to combat that whilst maintaining the like authenticity of how you're expressing.
You keep your integrity and you get to release good music and but still counter like the machine that what they're trying to dictate you to release and stuff, which I rate.
Just a bit on, you know, you spoke about like some of the instrumentation and stuff, so I thought we'd just shout out some of the collaborators and some of the people behind the scenes quickly as well. I don't know if you've had a chance to look. It was executively produced by a guy called Axel Arvid, who is known for his work with Pink Pantheress. Which is interesting. Obviously her sound is like quite like throwback and like a bit 90s inspired and stuff as well, but probably more leaning towards more electronic sounds versus this. So that was an interesting one, and interesting that he's gone there. Some other artists that you'll hear on the album, albeit not all of them are like necessarily credited as feature artists, which again I think is a deliberate statement. And again similar to what we were talking about Wretch earlier, like they really just bring the album to life and elevate it a bit more without stepping on the toes of what Jack's wanting to execute. So we've got Omar Apollo on there. Got Mustafa, formerly known as Mustafa the Poet. He's on there as well.
Oh, damn. I didn't know.
Which is nice. Raven Lene. Does backing vocals on quite a few tracks.
I do like some Raven Lene.
Which is nice.
I love a bit of Raven Lene.
James Savage is a named feature on one of the tracks. And then some of the man behind the scenes, Robert Glasper.
There you go. So I feel a lot better now that you've mentioned Robert Glasper, and I feel that instantly means it's because obviously Robert Glasper was a part of that soul Aquarium movement as well, and he's been like rocking with like Dilla and them man from back in the day, and his releases are always very good, very like jazz. Obviously he's a jazz artist, but he does neo soul as well. So it's not just an imitation, isn't it?
Right.
So that makes me feel better. Like it.
You don't want to, I want someone who feels like he's like, we've gone to him.
Yeah, because as I said, the production is super clean, isn't it? So it does sound like it belongs in neo soul and stuff. And knowing that, one of the best like pianists of all time in that genre is behind a lot of the music. It's good to know.
It's making sense, and it's a nice seal of approval as well.
Yeah,
almost.
100%.
Obviously a bag of other musicians there as well, but thought I'd mention Corey Henry on there as well, who's formerly in Snarky Puppy. Obviously, you know, instrumentation, serious. And then a producer called Lido.
Lido's my guy. Lido is my guy.
Obviously, Smino.
You know what? I take all my criticism back now. Now that I know Lido and Robert Glass was in it. Lido obviously exec produced both of Jordan Ward's albums, isn't it? So he's like the guy for me. He's not my. I'm not gonna say my favorite, but he's up there as like my most listened to producers at the moment for sure.
Okay, so you can take the hate and hat off.
Yeah. I've got half sideways, like the album cover. Just a bit skeptical. That's all it is. That's all it is. Nah. Yeah, Lido's the guy. So yeah, fair dues. Yeah, I'm happy. You've pleased me. See, that's why we're having this conversation, because I've only listened, as we said, the album's only come out today. Yeah. Right? So I've only listened to it. Like I listened to like half of it, and then we listened to it again together, didn't we? So yeah, that's good. So now I'm gonna listen to it again on my way home
with fresh eyes and fresh ears.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, now I've got some context and stuff. I'm like, but no, it just makes sense.
Oh, glad we're educated.
Okay.
I'm glad. I was debating whether to actually bring that up, so I'm very glad that I did.
No, yeah, it's good that you did. It's good that I would have,
because it anchors it in the integrity that it deserves, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think it's especially hard for like an artist like Jack Harlow, for like white artists in like hip hop and R&B will always have have to answer the question like, are you just like doing this for show and just like, is this just like a facade? Especially like we've been hurt too many times by these Post Malone man and then like MGK and all these man just like going into country music and stuff and like pretending they weren't in the genre and stuff, you know. So as soon as you start like moving away from like hip hop, people's eyebrows will raise, right? They're just like,
come under more scrutiny.
What's going on here? What's going on here? So it does. It's very difficult to do it like move within the genre without it looking like you're just putting a costume on, kind of thing. Which is why it's good to hear like the legit like artists behind it are the ones that are carrying the album as well, alongside Jack Harlow, obviously. Because it means it's supported by the community, right? It's not like you've just gone from the outside and you've heard this music and you've decided to like man was over winter just heard a bit of new soul. He's like, yeah, this is gonna go in. I'm gonna do exactly this over here with my man, and then act like I'm a part of it. But no, that's not the case. He is, he's building with the genre, which is nice to see.
And I think the recording process was like very much in the room together and like people just playing and grooving and going. Yeah. And then fleshing the ideas out as they sort of go. So he dropped on his 28th birthday, I should say, as well.
Oh, okay.
So today is that day.
Okay.
Or whenever, so 13th of March.
Yeah.
His birthday. And I think to still be in your 20s, and to have sort of be identifying at that.
It's got a lot of parallels with the Dave relationship.
I know, it's weird. It's actually weird, isn't it?
Because Dave's like 27. Like, it's
these men are mature, bro.
Yeah, it's actually mad. Shout out to Jack Harlow, man. I'm happy again. I'm listening to it again when I get home, on the way home. And
you're gonna buy the Kango hat.
Them man, I don't know why them man were doing that Kango hat in the first place, let alone bringing it back. So I don't know, man. I hear it. It's part of the genre of that, but now you can leave it.
Me, I struggle with that, the squareness of that peak, but he's rocking it. To be fair to him, the fits.
I don't know. He's wearing it. I don't know about rocking it. He's wearing
he's wearing it with confidence.
Yeah. You have to. When you wear stuff like that, you have to wear it with confidence. No. I respect it. Have you got a favorite song in the album or anything? Obviously, you said it's like it does blend and stuff. Shall I tell you mine? I've got two.
Please.
I've got Prague, which is like maybe the fourth song on the album or something. And I like that because I'm a sucker for a good bass line, and I think that bass line is very good. And my second, I forgot what it's called, but it's the last song of the album.
Yeah.
Is it Say Hello or something like that? Because one, I think that's the longest song on the album.
Yeah, closing on like 5 minutes.
I think it's like just under 5 minutes. So I like the length of it in terms of like the journey within the song. And it does feel like a very good closer for the album as well. They're my two. They're my two.
I would say, I think Say Hello is one of my favorites as well. I also probably like the opener as well, Trade Places. I feel like for me that's got some distinct melodies that stand out, and as a curtain raiser to the rest of the album, I think it does a good job of it.
Hey, cool, man, cool. You got any other like tidbits or anything, or you don't have to, bro. You don't have to. Or any closing remarks on
closing remarks
on the album and Jack Harlow and his ascension and where he is now? And
the one thing I will say, I heard him speak about it and sort of say he actually quite wants it to be something that people talk about, because I think there's inevitably going to be the discussion of what do you think of it, and he was like, bro, like if it doesn't cause a conversation, then I'll be disappointed. Because I want it to be, I want it to confront people essentially, in not necessarily in a sort of like in a way that's basically like just challenges people's views of art and that sort of thing without getting too deep into it. So thought it was cool.
No, yeah, agree. I think it was brave. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I always like a artist that has an album that feels like one thing by itself. So, and that's kind of a lot of the albums and artists that we've been speaking about on here. So I think it was only right to have it on this podcast, to be fair. So good shout, bringing them in and that, you know. Cool. Should we wrap up there then? Should we give it
Yeah, man, I think so.
I think that's a good episode. What do we know what number we're on or whatever?
Yeah, this is episode 10.
Episode 10, big
Made
number
it double
10.
digits.
There
Let's
you
go.
So yeah, if you've been along for the ride, thank you. And if you're new to the pod, welcome, bro, and listen back to the other 9 and that.
Yeah,
you know?
for real. Get involved.
Yeah.
Timeless stuff.
Cool. Well, that's it.
That's it, man. See you next time.
Yeah. Peace.